Welcome to our Christmas edition of Everyone Needs an Aquarius. We are back here. We are back. Shout out to everybody that's been listening, showing us love over this past year. It is Christmas, y'all. I know I'm looking like a member of a Mongolian in the Golden Child, one of the Mongolian people in the Golden Child. But I got this hat to make people upset because it's so dope. I just think, and then check it out. Check it out. But no, check it out. I'm gonna fuck you up even more though. The wings come down on it.
You need the coat to match.
Oh, I got a little coat to match it.
Yeah, I like that. You know me, I'm a clear.
Yeah, you know, Peter, suck this. You know.
Listen, it's fly. I was like, oh, that's nice. I need something like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But how's everything been going? You coming to the crib?
Yeah,
how you feeling about coming home for the holidays? How you feeling about the holidays in general?
It doesn't feel like Christmas, and well, at least not in California. A lot of people don't have lights or anything out. You know what we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
I know the electricity bill be high, so I definitely get it. I did not put my Christmas tree up, but I put the decorations up, like some decorations out to make my home feel a little festive. But yeah, it doesn't feel like Christmas. I went to the mall to return something at Burbank, and you know how the malls, like, you know how Galleria be laid out for Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like that. It was no decorations. The stores didn't even have nothing. I was like
because people aren't really, they're not into it as much, maybe, like,
I don't know, maybe it's that, but it's just really weird. So I'm looking forward to coming home, and you know, if you pop over for Christmas Eve, you'll see how crazy my mama house be looking. She has like all them little houses and villages and all of that stuff, and I get out of there.
She do it up.
I get out of there where I'm not a part of taking it down or nothing. I don't do that. I was like, I'm a guest, and I'm gonna appease you by staying a night here. Because you did not give me the money for that flight. You was like, if I was no, I bought my own flight. I'm gonna let you have a night, and then I'm going to my sister's house. And that is all.
Hey man, shout out to your sister. Me and her are arguing right now in 90s group over Tevin Campbell album versus Brady album. Like right now, we on like 8-9 different comments back and forth at this point.
Wow.
I said Tevin Campbell album was better. She's going on with Brandy. First album being better than Tevin's. We're
not doing that here because I would probably also fall in line and say that I thoroughly enjoy Brandy's album. I think here's the thing is I think that it was certain songs on there on that first album. I was like, this just doesn't sound like, it felt forced. There are certain things on Tevin's that kind of felt forced. Like some kind of like sexy song. Yeah. I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this.
You tripping, man.
But whatever.
That Tevin album is cold. Round and Round on there. Tell me what you want me to do. Along with you, Strawberry Letter. Just ask me to. Come on, man.
I think it was Along With You. That was kind of like. But you know what?
Along With You is a banger. That is a banger.
I'll revisit the catalog.
Along With You, like, look, low key. Shout out to Wayne Moore. Their version is dope too.
Okay.
Wayne Moore is
I know.
Wayne Moore, yeah, but no, their version is dope too though. Their version is dope, but Along With You is look, that is one of the top 5 songs I think in history that never had a video for it that should have.
I mean, maybe we could, you know, I'm a soon.
Man, I've sent, and I don't even send celebrities the inboxes. I sent him inbox years ago, like, nigga, because Juvenile redid 400 Degrees as a video.
Okay.
Go ahead and just go ahead and do.
It's a lot of people. I was thinking, I listen to certain songs and I always say I should just be in my music director bag again and like make videos.
I've had ideas about just directing other people's songs and just doing their music video.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Other people and just do the whole storyline.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was gonna do that. I was like, I should just get back in that bag and because like I have concepts like I was telling Curtis when we were discussing Cowboy Carter, and I was like, okay, so this is how I could picture a visual for this song or that song, and he was like, so you don't want to, and I'm like, maybe one day.
It's just nobody doing music videos more now. It's just niggas holding up their camera phone for somebody, jumping around.
And you can make a music video on your phone, like
no, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm talking about, but it's just cats jumping around, with their guns and stuff now.
Yeah, I want full on visuals, all of that. Like I would do a video. Beyonce has a song with Miley Cyrus that would be just so easy to shoot, and I would ask Tahir to use his old school. And I'm like, hey, look, let's go to the desert. Can I take it to the? I'm like, no, you come with, and then shoot this video, and it'll just be dope, like them hanging out or whatever. It's dope.
Yeah, man.
We'll see.
Yeah. So, all right, let's jump into this shout out that just posted. We covered this yesterday on their show. Earl Thomas and his wife Nina Thomas. This is one of the craziest fraud cases ever. So I'm gonna play a little bit here. Then I'm going, because I've been doing a deep dive on it. I feel like I'm damn near should be a defense attorney or prosecuting attorney. I don't deep dive in this. I can represent either side at this point. So I'm gonna play a little bit to catch up people. Right quick. Here we go.
The wife of Ravens safety Earl Thomas is facing charges this afternoon following an incident in Texas last month. Rick is live with details on this incident. Rick.
Well, Vic, the whole sports world talking about this story today. We know that it happened last month in Austin, Texas, around 3:30 in the morning, and we know that it involved a loaded handgun. Now, according to charging documents, which WJZ got its hands on, this happened April 13th around 4 o'clock in the morning, and that is where police found Nina Thomas.
Sorry, this is another case, y'all. I'm going to do another video at this. She pulled a gun on him or whatever earlier, 2 years before, and they started getting divorced. So let me finish
chasing Earl Thomas with a knife.
Yep.
At the time, Earl was holding a loaded gun that he says he was able to wrestle away from his wife. This after she pointed it at his head. Now, according to the charging documents, Nina Thomas went to the house to confront her husband about an alleged affair. Earl Thomas addressed this incident on his Instagram page late last night, asking people to pray for him and his family during this time.
Just keep us in y'all prayers, and stuff like this happens, bro. We try to live the best lives we possibly can, but sometimes it don't go as planned.
Again, that's Thomas on Instagram late last night posting that video. And it's important to note here, he was not arrested, but his wife, Nina, was. She was later released on bond. A spokesperson for the Ravens says the team became well aware of this incident last night after hearing the reports. The couple was married in 2016, and we know they have 3 children together. Vic, back to you in the studio.
All right, this is how much I'm just going to set up some stuff of like just how tumultuous their relationship has been. So you have that. That was the third kind of thing that kicked it off. Remember, if everybody remember, this is around that Snapchat thing where she caught him on Snapchat with another woman and rolled up on him. So, and then he was putting his hands on her and doing some stuff. So fast forward, that was all in 2020. We ain't had nothing to do but follow them fighting each other on Snapchat. We ain't had shit else to do. Fast forward a year later, her new boyfriend gets jammed up for forging a $1.9 million from him. Her new boyfriend does. Mm-hmm. He was signing his checks, like his team checks was signature for the team checks, transfer cars and getting cash for them, transferring cars into her name, all kind of different things. The other guy's name is Kevin Thompson is his name. So that was in 2023. He gets jammed up. Fast forward another year, she now is charged with another 1.9 million of defrauding from Earl Thomas, from forging his checks, taking money out of his bank account, putting over to her bank account. All kind of different things like this is going on. Like, it's so much, and it's sad, man. Like, and I know they got a whole bunch of drama they've been through, and I've seen some women talking about, oh well, he was cheating on her. That's what he get. Hold on now. When do you let your new dude? Oh no, let me change up. Your new nigga take 2.2 million from me and then your happy ass want to retro back on the back and after I already hit for 2.2 in 2023. Then you think you're gonna get me for another 1.9 in 2024?
I got one question.
Go ahead.
Where's his accountant?
I was one of my questions with it. Now, shout out to Sleepy who works for a bank. He said what he believes happened was he has different bank accounts.
Yeah.
So when his direct deposit hits for his game checks or checks or whatever, 60% may go to this account. So he ain't even tripping off of, and then he has money going to other accounts, and you don't even touch it. Don't think about it.
Yeah.
He just retired last year. So what is somebody gonna do? Start looking in other accounts, being like, hold on, dude. I know I put 10-15% in this savings account, another 15% in this money market account, another 10% in this account.
Yeah.
And that's when I think he started realizing, and then he was like, oh, she been still, and they had her dude still. The boyfriend was so wild, they catch him with the car they arrest him for the original charges, and when his Rolls Royces, he comes to try to claim it as Earl Thomas in the other Earl Thomas's other cars. Like he literally had IDs with his name Earl Thomas and stuff on them and stuff.
I am.
So, dude, you got jammed up with me. You're going to claim my car in one of my cars that's considered stolen.
Yo, like the crazy part is like, yeah, so-and-so cheated, but we could just get divorced. And then you could pay me whatever alimony, because it sounds like how messy this is. I don't think these niggas got a prenup.
But my thing is,
this don't sound like that.
In theory, she would have got this bread in a.
Yeah,
they got 3 kids. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, how did it go to this extreme? It's a lot of y'all. So y'all know how we talk about where the kids that was in the special needs class or the behavioral disorder classes and things like that. These are those people, because there's no way in hell that instead of, okay, I'm just gonna file for divorce, this isn't working out, we're separated, my mind doesn't go to, I'm gonna get it, like, I'm gonna fraud you out of all this money, risk going to jail, because it's not just going, she's gonna have to serve some time. It might not be a lot, but also restitution. And then we getting divorced and you're not gonna have to pay me anything. Simply because of that. And he probably do some shit where he would get custody of the kids where he ain't even paying child support. Now, a smart person would do that.
Yeah.
I mean, look like that's gonna happen anyway, because she's going to jail.
I mean, look, and it's the thing, you ain't gonna, I'm gonna risk my freedom just because you.
I don't be caring about these niggas that much. I need y'all to come over to the Aquarius side and be like, that's his loss. He gonna do what he want to do, and I'm gonna do me. So y'all might even sat down and had a conversation in an arrangement. Okay, if this is how it's gonna be, that can't happen again. Like, I can't. This is. We got what worked for us. Don't be embarrassing me. Don't be embarrassing the family, because that is embarrassing. So you're reactive. I understand that. But at the end of the day gonna end, and you can't do dumb shit like this is. You going to jail. And then you got your new nigga doing dumb shit like this, getting him jammed up. And that's just a real dumb nigga, because how y'all think that y'all not gonna get found out?
And the thing is, though, she claimed that she didn't know that he was doing all this stuff before. That's how she didn't get jammed up the first time. But I'm like, there's no way you didn't. How is he stealing cars, taking them, and then selling them? And he happened to come over, and then the Bentley leave, and he just happened to be gone. He happened to know where the bank accounts are to be able to move money.
And I'm not saying. And look, there's a slight possibility that might be true.
But after you got jammed up for this, we need to go look back at the other shit then too.
Exactly.
we got to go back. And I need to
check
out. Dude, I'm like, yo, you hit him for 4 point something million, yo.
Ain't no fucking way.
Hey man, I know you, the mother.
Podcast, we definitely discuss healing. We discuss aspects of psychology. We discuss like you becoming the best you, mental wellness,
For sure.
health.
Femininity, parenthood, dating,
Definitely
as
dating.
single parents. And it's from a lens of two psychologists,
Yeah.
So
But also to people who grew up like with both parents, married parents, and then like you all know that Chloe and I are the youngest of our crews, like her siblings and my siblings. So yeah, so it's from that perspective.
Yeah, looking
as
at life through that lens. So
Yeah.
you're gonna get a whole lot of things from us. From us being women, going through life as parents, and all of these awesome attributes. But yes, womanology, the study of women.
The study of women.
My children need to be out, and I maybe not want to, but you got to get locked up, man. 4.2 million is a lot of money, though, B.
Like
You got to go, Nina. I'm sorry.
I'm shocked because what was that? Just over the course of a year that the new boyfriend had stolen all of this stuff.
Yeah, that's what the new boyfriend had done all this stuff before. She got off. They didn't charge her for that. They said he was doing that on his own, supposedly.
That's a small percentage. That's a small chance. But how? Okay, so here's my question. Okay, so let's say this to be true. Let's say if that were true, that she didn't know. But how was he able to gain access to all of this stuff? Y'all just have legal documents and stuff like that?
And how does he even know where to go to what bank to go get his stuff from?
But also, it's like you didn't know. See, okay, so here's the thing about football. Because of the helmet, because of all this stuff, it ain't like necessarily unless you like the top.
Oh no! He made $78 million in his career.
No. And you can totally do that, right?
Yeah.
But because of that, sometimes people just don't know. Like there's some I've also
No, I agree that people don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you like, is that? But I ain't sure. Whereas sometimes with a basketball player, the height will give it away. Like people be looking alike, but the height is gonna give it away for a basketball player. Where a teller, if let's say he went into a bank, a teller would be like, well, this not so and so, because you're like, okay, I'm seeing transactions come through from, let's say, Golden State or whatever. But if you got like a certain build or whatever, look for a football player. Like a football player could, it's like, so their body type is so interesting because some of them could be a little tall, some of them can be short.
It's so many different sizes. You don't know.
So many different sizes. So, and you got this helmet on. So I also don't know. But if you giving me your ID, it ain't like I'm looking at the name. Is you saying you this person? You give me your identification, and it all match. I'm going off of that.
Like this is crazy. But my thing is like,
but still, again, this goes back to the car thing. How are you able to get access to this vehicle and sell this car? And then was this sitting at a garage somewhere and not on your property?
Talking about the cars?
Yeah.
Well, no, I can see how like let's say if I had 3 cars and I broke up, with somebody. And I just left, and I had 3 cars there, and I was like, man, I ain't even, you got it. You know what I'm saying? I'll come and get them. I'll get it when I get it. I just need to be there at the crib. And they just sitting there. But she has access to them. That's my point is, she has access to the key. So it was, let's say it was 3 cars of Earl's there. All of a sudden, they not there no more. And you just saying, I don't know what happened. You ain't reporting this stuff. It's being sold, and you realizing that the Bentley is not sitting outside no more, and this dude got cash. What do we like? That's just,
it don't make sense. Even that don't make sense. I'm sorry, it's just weird.
Only slimmer of a way that I think that she unless I wonder if she knew that he was doing it, but she wasn't doing it, but homeboy taught her how to do it. You know what I'm saying? But so she wasn't actually doing it. All I need is accounts. This is how you do it. but he was doing it, but she told him where to go, if that makes sense. So she never got her hands dirty, but he also taught her how to do it.
Yeah.
This all you need to do is do this. And then he might be on the phone. Even better, low key, you his wife, y'all ain't fully divorced yet. You probably walk up in there and get it whatever you want. But she was going to his personal bank account, not just like the family stuff. He was going into personal stuff and like moving money over from spots and going into the bank and saying like, "Hey, yeah, I'm Earl Thomas's wife."
That's what I'm saying. It don't make sense. You really want me to believe?
She thought that Earl was just gonna take it. Like, yeah, nigga, I did it. So what? That's what she probably thought. But these bank, you got to think, Dom.
Because they go back on them.
$1 million leaving the bank. They want to know why, because they use that to loan out money. They want to know why.
They want to know why, because then the insurance, they would technically have to pay that back, and so they gonna try to get whatever.
They use that for loaning money.
My homeboy going through that right now. My homeboy is dealing with that right now, where his cousin stole like $50,000 or something from his mama, somewhere. Yeah, $50,000, and so shit, that might be a little more, but whatever the case may be, how he figured it out, he put money. It was his money that he put away for his mom. My comic homeboy, he talk about it on his podcast and everything. So I ain't telling his business. But he was saying that his cousin was like helping out the mom, and she was like also like in law school, whatever. So it wasn't like he wasn't looking out for her either. You know what I mean? Like he was looking out for her. Like you looking at the mama, you popping in, you doing da. And whatever it was, he went to check the account or whatever, and that money was gone. And yeah, he was like, when he asked, and ultimately when she confessed, because he had said something to the brother, because like the mom's brother like opened an account in the mom's name or whatever, and was like taking her Social Security checks.
Oh wow.
And so he was like, I'm her fucking son, so why would you even do that? So that was like a whole thing. And then ultimately, because his mom, like it has like early has like early like stages of dementia or something. And so ultimately it came out that it was his cousin.
Dang.
And he pressed charges, but he had been trying to get into, like get a hold of the bank, because the bank, your stuff is insured. But that's just like, you remember that whole collapse back around, what was that, 9/11 and all of that stuff, and people in the pensions, like they was laying off all them people, and it was like no money. They was like borrowing against people's pensions and all of that shit. And it was, it'd be weird shit like that. The bank be doing, like they be, robbing Peter to pay Paul. And so like the girl has to pay restitution, but it's like, is she really gonna be able to pay back that $50,000? And the bank, because of that, because they were allowing that to happen, all that stuff, they would technically have to pay that back. That's why it's insured, or at least a percentage of it.
Dang.
Shit, like that's the shit that happened with Henry. Like when he went to jail working at the bank, and his coworker did that shit, and Henry had to go because he, tried to put the money back for the coworker, but the old coworker gave him a faulty check.
Oh, that's crazy right there. Damn.
So ultimately, like it wasn't like he had to pay restitution. I don't know if the other guy did, but the bank had to pay that back to that customer.
Dang.
It's crazy. That's just so greedy. Like I just think about it in hindsight, like, girl, you could have been getting alimony plus child support, putting stuff up for your kid, And I know these hoes don't be using that child support properly. I know
right.
that.
We know that. Yeah, but I'm saying you didn't have to put your.
You didn't have to do none of this. You have to do none of this. You walking away with nothing because you was greedy and angry. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is not for you to do that. This just cool. I read this. I was just like, you know what? That's what the fuck she get, dumbass. I'm not. Oh well, no. Wrong is wrong, and karma be a motherfucker. I'm not interested. And look where your dumbass going, to jail.
Hey, you ain't lying. All right, let's jump into this. What's going on with the Shaboozey J-Kwon situation? What's going on with that?
I just saw that. Okay, so I'm shocked. I already thought this was a thing because years ago they used to have a thing about like certain samples or like a percentage of it could only be sampled or whatever, where they would even allow it to even be nominated. Because I think when I remember years ago, when Body Party by Sierra came out, it was really big, but I don't believe that was nominated for a Grammy. And she was just like, it was something to do with the sampling of that song. And so though he's credited as a writer, I was always under the impression that people that wrote on a track or had credits, they didn't receive a Grammy. Now, if he came back and also I also allowed him to, well, they had to credit him because you sampled you had to get permission, so he would get that. But I was always under the impression is it that he would have just only got a certificate anyway.
Oh, that's why I was figuring that already though. That was what I was thinking.
That's what I thought. It would be simply that, and that only
does the track boys get a Grammy because they actually produced it and wrote the hook and everything.
They would get a certificate.
Right. Okay. Because they didn't use the same people.
So this is not news to me, but they're saying that this is they withdrew his name and he would get that certificate. But I was always in the impression that was the thing because I have homeboys I literally Dave. Dave didn't get a Grammy for Cozy.
No, he got
a certificate. So I'm confused why people are confused. I got another homeboy that wrote on Lecrae's album years ago. He got a certificate. So I just thought this was a thing. So I'm confused as to why people are kind of in an uproar about this. I was under the impression that's always how it was.
Yeah, I'm confused with that. That's one that's like, okay, I guess
it would be one of the. Now I can see if maybe in the writing category, because there are hundreds of awards for the Grammys, and then so I that's why I was like, I don't know. But so if it was entered in the writing category, then I could kind of, if it's nominated for that, I could see how potentially he could get a Grammy. But yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm like, what is that?
Like, what are we doing?
I'm looking at the post because that doesn't make sense. So yeah, but I was like, what this would have to be the category, because I don't think that everybody wins a Grammy.
I always thought that you had to have a certain percentage of the work done to get a Grammy on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess in theory, they could say that he. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a good one. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Okay, what category is a bar song? No, what category is that bar song nominated for at the Grammys? Because that's what I thought, and then because I don't. Song of the Year, Best Country Song, and Best Country Solo Performance. However, the Recording Academy rescinded the nominations for J-Kwon, Jarrell Jones, Joe Kent, and Mark Williams, the writers of J-Kwon's 2004 hit Tipsy, which is interpolated in Shaboozey's song. If a bar song, Tipsy, wins either or both awards, Tipsy writers will receive certificates, not Grammy trophies. I always thought that's what it was. I don't know. Like it's really weird. And maybe it like so if it was like nominated like okay, songwriter of the year, I believe that's a category, and then it will be the people that wrote that song, and then they did that I'm wondering if it would be technically that category because everything else like it technically wouldn't make sense. I don't know. We need to call the Academy.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, well, if it's just a song, I would have thought that they would have just got those certificates anyway. So that has to be nominated for some songwriting category for that to happen. Because I was under the impression that he wouldn't get one anyway. It was just nominated. I don't know. Well, we'll do a deeper dive on that and hopefully have an update for y'all because I don't.
This is weird. That was weird. I always thought it was
weird. I don't know.
All right. So do you remember Candyman, right?
Yes, of course I remember Candyman
So,
because y'all Adu Mateen and Tony Todd, rest in peace.
Tony Todd.
Listen, if I said that in the I did a post about that. I was like, if I say Candyman, however many times.
I don't even play like that.
I'm like, is Yaya gonna appear in my mirror? And then my homeboy was like, oh, maybe Tony Todd. I'd be okay with that too because he was attractive.
Right, but in 1987, they claimed it was that came from this story, and it was a real situation. So here we go.
8 Hours podcast dives into a gripping murder that partly inspired a cult classic horror film. Back in '87, Ruthie Mae McCoy dialed 911 to report that someone was trying to break into her Chicago apartment through the bathroom medicine cabinet. Days later, she was found dead. Candyman, the true story behind the bathroom mirror murder, investigates why McCoy's calls for help were ignored and follows the twists and turns of the murder trial. Host and co-executive producer Domiti Pongo is with us now to tell us more about this. Wow. Okay, so no mirrors during the production of this, right?
Not at all. I'm still scared to say Candyman too many times.
Oh, really? Okay, good. It's not just me.
It lives with me. It really does. Every time I'm in the bathroom to this day, and it's based on, at least in part, on this true story. So, what actually happened to this lady?
Yeah. So the lore of Candyman, for those who don't remember, is essentially you can't say Candyman's name in the bathroom mirror 5 times, or else he pops up supernaturally and kills you. Well, the director from the UK, Bernard Rose, created this lore, came to Chicago looking for a site to do this film. When he gets to Chicago, he reads an article in the Chicago Reader by a reporter by the name of Steve Bagheera. Steve Bagheera wrote a story about a woman named Ruthie Mae who was killed after murderers climbed through her bathroom mirror. Now, the main question is, how do you get through someone's bathroom mirror? She lived in a project building in Chicago called Abbott Homes. The apartments were conjoined by medicine cabinets, and they had a space between them called a pipe chase. And this was done on purpose so that janitors could work on the plumbing for either apartment at the same time. Well, criminals found out that this glitch in the matrix was there, and you could take down one medicine cabinet for the other apartment at the same time, climb through and assault your neighbor if that's what you intend to do.
The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a show for 80s babies who were 90s kids. If you were a No Limit soldier, then this is your show. If you believe that Cash Money is not an army but was a Navy, this is the show for you. If you and your friends ever tried to sing a song written by Escape, In Vogue, Shy, or Boyz II Men at a talent show during middle school, this is your show. The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a bunch of 80s babies talking about all the songs and things that we loved when we were kids and teenagers. So if you went to the skating rink and you were at a lock-in, this is the show for you. If you think that Tevin Campbell was the original Prince of R&B, this is the show for you. If you don't understand the conflict between Monica and Brandy, but you're kind of on Monica's side and understand why Brandy got punched, this is the show for you. Make sure that you tune in, subscribe, click the little subscribe link. We're here. We're going to talk about all things 90s music. This is the show for you.
These folks in this project building lived with this.
But then there's all these other weird details, like when she calls 911, they try to get into the apartment, correct, and they can't. The key doesn't work for some reason.
Yes, and the Chicago Housing Authority actually, Ruthie Mae's family ends up filing a lawsuit, a $1.5 million lawsuit, arguing that if these buildings were architecturally sound, properly designed, then Ruthie Mae would still be alive right now. It was a sordid case and took a lot of digging. I mean, this film came out in 1992. We're 30 years beyond this, and we're still grappling with the fallout from this case.
And you had an episode dedicated to architecture because of its central role in this story, and it's such a big deal in Chicago in general.
Yeah, and that's why this story, which begins as this true crime story exploring this pop cultural phenomenon, becomes a story about public housing, becomes a story about mental health. And it also talks about the difference between exploitation and inspiration, because the director, Bernard Rose, never credits the actual murder in the film. However, there are these Easter eggs in the film. For example, the main character's name is Ruthie Jean, while the woman who actually was killed was Ruthie Mae. There's a scene where the protagonist is reading a newspaper article, and the title is almost identical to the Chicago Reader article that Steve Bagheera first reported on. And so we asked Bernard Rose, who is a guest on the podcast, what actually inspired this film? Why didn't you give proper credit to the family? And I don't want to give too much away, but it's a spicy conversation.
You were like, why not give credit where it's due? And
exactly. And
you don't have to tell me what he said. But
I don't want to say too much, but I want to give him credit because it's a lot to have your work critiqued in that way.
And so long.
And he has a beautiful quote. He says, if something ceases to cause debate, it dies. So he says her name lives on because we're still talking.
Well, we have to go, but something that is called.
All right, Dom. What you think?
That's Hollywood. What that guy did is it's an unfortunate thing, especially when it comes to minorities and trying to get it right. And even in the remake with Yaya, you see how it kind of switches up, because now you, like you said, you have this new spin on it, and telling the story of Candyman from a different gaze, and so which the remake is definitely more centered around the blackness of it, and then it talks about the ins and outs or whatever. You got Cabrini Green and all that stuff, and the projects, but it just sucks. Like, I think that's a very dope story where, of course, it takes one of us to go in and do the research to to tell people, okay, well, this is actually a true story, but this is how this happened. And unfortunately, I was surprised that the family sued the housing authority, but I was surprised that they didn't go back and try to sue the director, the writer-director, simply because you didn't change up that much. You changed some names, like he said there. So you didn't do much work, But that is just unfortunately a part of the game, and it shouldn't be that way, and it shouldn't just be like, oh well, that's a part of the, that's how it is. But ultimately, it's shitty. But like hearing that, this housing project was set up like this is wild. Like, do y'all not realize it? And maybe that was something that maybe the tenants didn't know about that passageway, because I can't see somebody, oh, it's set up like this and you share this wall or this space, because technically it's not like they actually shared a medicine cabinet. You know what I mean? It was just like, it's just a joint, like it's just
joining.
Yeah, it's just like it's this wall, but they can get in the wall, because I was like, that doesn't make sense. So there had to be some sort of door, like small door, whatever, where a human body can fit through to do whatever work, to be able to stand up, down. It couldn't have been a crawl space. And then for people to be able to come through, like how skinny were these people? Because like a medicine cabinet. Like, this is wild. And I mean, wow.
I mean, think about it. He took a tragedy and made a franchise out of it. Would have been like, so I think it was 2 back in the 90s, 2 or 3 in the 90s, and then you got the reboot. Like, well, yeah. And it's a whole thing. It's like our what was the Bloody Mary? Is I guess the general one. It's like our Bloody Mary, and he made it up. It was cats saying like, yo, no, for real though, it's a for real deal Candyman, and we see it really was a creator seeing a story and flipping it.
Yeah. I mean, some of the best stories come from real life experiences, but it's also being able to give credit, where credit is due. It's that simple. Or also, permission. And see, you did what you wanted to do. You operated from this space because had you probably really done, that probably really went to the family for permission, they probably would have said no. But also, I wonder if it is something where, I wonder how that goes regarding, because he saw a news article. So do you contact the writer? Or how does that go?
It would probably be the production company, I'm assuming.
But they would have somebody, you would think that they would contact the writer to say, oh, we're going to make this into a movie based off of your article, blah, 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 blah. Hey, Xander.
No, it's not Xander.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. So it was 3 movies in the 90s. 92 with Candyman, Farewell to the Flesh in 95, Day of the Dead in 99. So like you said, Bernard Rose was the original director. Did he do anything else? So he did Candyman. That's his biggest movie, it looks like.
I mean, it was a hit.
Yeah.
So he probably was like, shit, let me get out now.
Yeah, I mean, I was in 92. He wrote and directed that. He was nominated for some other random, like, smaller awards, but that was the one that really kind of kicked it off. But look, Candyman was a good ass movie too. Don't get it the original. I don't know about them. I haven't seen all them other sequels and stuff.
I ain't seen no sequels now.
Yeah,
I watched the one with Yaya. Sure did.
Yeah, like I don't know nothing. But the ill part, I will say, it was creative because remember he made up the whole lore of Candyman being he was a slave. Was it with, or no, it wasn't slave. It was an ex-slave was marrying a white man's daughter, and then they put him through all that shit and put bees on him, took out his cut off his hand, put the thing. So that was kind of an ill. That's kind of the ill origin story for a villain. Only thing that wasn't messed up is that Candyman should only be killing white people, though. That's the only thing I just.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt.
That's my only disagreements with it. You know, or if you got more than you got 50% or below, you can die. Like, you know, you got to have at least 50%, 51% black blood in you, and they could even play that up. You know, like, oh snap, he ain't killed a dark skinned dude, but that light skinned girl got it.
Yeah, no, you did. I mean, and I think that's the thing too. Is like,
but they didn't want to go that racial. They weren't ready.
He was able to create a whole thing surrounding this incident.
Yeah.
So where like you know, I don't know, but like I said, like I don't know. What does that look like? Because so much of it, I guess, technically was not derived from it, but the theme itself surrounding the mirrors did come from that news story.
Hey, let's move on real quick. Your boy Chris Brown and Lil Wayne and a list of folks are getting jammed up on some. Is it somewhat PPP? So
it's these PPP grants.
Yeah, PPP grants. So it ain't just Chris Brown and them, y'all. It's a list of people. They basically then they broke down what they spent their grant money on. And hold on, for the record. Hold on. Is this how true is? So all the artists that were jammed up were, and amongst some were Lil Wayne, Chris Brown, Marshmello, Steve Aoki, Alice in Chains, Shine Down, and Ray Shrimmer, amongst 13,000 other artists. Now they break down Lil Wayne's what his expenses were for this, and this is a lot that the government just be giving out. Like, I'm trying to figure out. If you look at this amount of stuff, so Lil Wayne settling the debt owed to ex-manager Cortez Bryant, $2.14 million he gave out of the money. Why is the government giving Lil Wayne $2 million? I ain't even going through the other itemized parts of the budget. But why is Lil Wayne getting $2 million?
Listen.
This is supposed to support your employees, right? To take care of them, make sure they're good.
Yep.
So the maximum amount of funding for eligible participants to spend on the ordinary and necessary cost was $10 million. Okay, there we go. All right. So $10 million was the max that you could get. So they went through Lil Wayne's, for instance, selling a debt owed to ex-manager Cortez Bryant, $2.14 million. Commissions to ex-manager.
I'm kind of okay with that, but fine.
It says debt. That's different than future like stuff. That's debt.
Okay. So, but you owed him, your manager, your former manager, you owed him money. So technically, yes, that should have came directly out of your pocket. Or they should have had like some sort of court order or whatever in place for you to get that money back, right? So I'm like, okay. When I saw that, I was like, okay, you took money that technically should have been for your employees or whatever as some sort of case, but you paid back a debt. I ain't too mad, but it's irritating.
Yeah. So next one is commissions to then manager Mac Main, $1.71 million. But how is it commissions if you're not performing and it's COVID? Is my question. So in total,
he probably gave him, I'm gonna give you this percentage, and then you gonna give me this.
Shit. Hey, hold up. You're right. Because if you can get 10 mil, if he got 10 mil and Mac Man got 1.7, he told him he get 10%. When I get that 10 mil, you get 10%, buddy. Mm-hmm. Hey, no, that's exactly what it was.
That's exactly what that is.
Hey, I didn't even trip off that. Dude. Private jets, 1.38 million.
Okay, now you're doing too much.
Now this is where it's getting egregious for you.
It's like it's COVID. Where the fuck are you going? Like you said, we're not performing. So wait, I will say it because at this point, wherever you are going, let's say, okay, let's do a hypothetical, but I don't recall this to be true. So you remember they were having those COVID concerts where
I'm Doja, they sleep. Yeah, we part of Just Posted Podcast, man. The best show on this network. Come on, check, girl. Seriously, man, just post it. It's just me and Doja sitting back talking about what the fuck going on in the world and the streets.
We said labor of love. He said labor of love. I ain't say that shit. Shout out to you know what I'm saying, everybody coming to watch though, man. We really appreciate y'all. Holla at y'all later.
Hey man, this nigga just tall for no reason.
I'm gone.
And he do regular jobs. Don't forget that.
You know, like let's say Apple did one, because I think they did one kind of with Meg Thee Stallion, where it was like she did some sort of concert, and I think you could pay or whatever
to watch.
They had one where you could pay, it was like $10 to watch or whatever. So they were performing, but if I have to go somewhere, let's say you make the studio, that means that needs to be expensed to
the company that brought me.
Company that is doing that. But continue.
All right. Lawyers at Grubman store. Lawyers at Grubman Shire, $590,000. Accountants at NKSFB, $589,000 to them.
Okay, technically, both of those two people are on your payroll. Those are employees.
Okay.
Okay.
So 1 mil is another 1 mil that's closed, $528,000.
Okay, you're doing too much.
Contractors who worked on Lil Wayne shows. Now, see, $327,000. What shows were you doing during COVID? That you're putting on. What you're saying is the ones like Amazon, but they should be covering those production costs, right?
It's right. So that means that you probably was held up on something else where you didn't pay people. So now you like, I got this extra money, I can pay.
They go back.
Technically they are employees. I get it. Continue.
All right. Selling a debt owed to former accountant, $300,000. Okay. So
former employee, yeah.
But you already paid your accountants $589,000.
Yeah, you did, but it's technically that one's tricky too. But
$14,900 to a mystery woman, just to a woman, just to a chick.
That's so weird.
And then a 1.3 million in undisclosed amount that cannot be identified.
I mean, that went into his personal bank account.
All right, Chris Brown. Let's go to Chris Brown's itemized. 5.11 million just to him. It has himself as the itemized.
And see, I wonder if he did something. This is not me making an excuse.
Here we go.
Let's go through
That's why I did that one last. The personal attorney for Chris Brown.
Go through the rest of it, because then I'm wondering something, but which I still don't think happened. That nigga probably pocketed that money, but continue.
Insurance, 1.33 million.
Insurance.
Yeah.
What kind of insurance?
Just says insurance.
Okay.
Oh, look at here. Manager Anthony Ant Wilson, $823,000.
Okay, that's an employee.
Yep. You got to keep him going. Looky here. Accountants at NKSFB, $556,000. They didn't got a meal off of them too, basically. A little bit over a million.
Yep.
And guess who's next again? Grubman Shire, the lawyers. They got $498,000.
Honestly, I would have thought it was more, considering
the issues they may be like, look here, man, his retainer has to be higher.
That's right? He got but that's what happened. Like these are expenses when you make it of a certain level and you ain't got that friend that's an attorney. And not saying that a friend will even cut you a deal, but when you don't know people, you don't know people. And so think he probably also, that's just probably for your lawyers that's reading over your contract. That's my contract. So he also defense. Continue with the list.
All right. This one, I get this one. Crew payroll, $383,000.
Okay.
I'm with that. Now this one, I'm gonna get you what I thought when I saw this, Dom. Celebrity basketball tournament, $180,000. Now, I wonder if that's recouping from a tournament he was going to do that was canceled, and that was to recoup back from a canceled celebrity basketball thing he was going to do, and COVID shut it down. Do you think that's what that comes from?
That could be possible, because there definitely wasn't anything like that happening during 2020.
No.
At all. So maybe it was that, and then he was supposed to get paid a certain thing, and then he didn't. But that's still also because, like, like he probably had to give whatever money back.
Yeah, and then his birthday party, 80,000.
You're doing too much.
Then another 1 million.
But see, okay, so technically, let's say he did have, yes, this birthday party was $80,000, but so contractors and things like that, you would pay them for their services. But I don't know if it was a service of $80,000, because that means that your birthday party had to run into the millions. So maybe that was like everything.
Hey, hold on, man. This dude's birthday was right when COVID started. Ain't no way he should have had no $80,000 birthday party.
No, it was Chris Brown's birthday's in May. So COVID
started in March, but I'm saying we were still on lockdown in May. Is what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. So okay, so my question to you is: are they saying this happened in 2020 or 2021?
This is okay. So they're saying it says several big name artists are being slammed for the way they use, and this reporting and the numbers we're reporting has come from the Business Insider. Face hardship in 2020 due to the pandemic, was signed into law. Doesn't say when. Let's see. Let me go to the Business Insider and see what they say. Let's see what the Business Insider says. Okay, let's see here. So this is from 2020 and 2021, because they're talking about this article about a New Year's Eve 2021. Lil Wayne was scheduled to perform a show in Southern California. He ended up canceling the show due to the wind and flights, despite not showing. The rapper reportedly billed the taxpayers, billed us $88,000 for the trip. That was a private plane situation.
So okay. So
it's like Alice in Chains was doing this, rock group, Steve Aoki, Mark. But what's so interesting is I wonder if that accounting company was putting people on game. This NKSFB.
They could have,
because they in both of these. I'm wondering if we go into it, if somebody deep dives into it, is NKSFOB representing most of these? You know, these.
I can see that, and where they get a cut of that, I can see that.
All them getting a cut. Like, hey, check it out. It's a loophole that we didn't found where you can get up to 10 million.
I can see that. That makes sense. That makes hella sense.
Okay, so Chris Brown allegedly spent $80,000 on his own birthday party, for which he bought Atmosphere models, an LED dance floor, bottle service, hookahs, and nitrogen ice cream, just to name a few. Not to mention the $24,000 on a tour bus ride to Tulum.
I told you Tulum be taxing people. I told you. Them
but hold on. So I wonder,
he did a party in Tulum, you think? For a table, and I was like, "Bitch, where?"
Do you think he did the party in Tulum, and that's why? So everybody went in the States. People was outside the States and went to.
Well, yeah, some people in some countries have more lax.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So
yeah, I can see that.
So this might have been
even if it was 2021, and that happened, he would still be able to do that. Yeah.
So his birthday party in Tulum was in May of 2020. So he didn't basically snuck out the country.
Oh yeah, a lot of people was doing that, and then he probably had to say that because you remember you was having to have to have a negative COVID test to come back, because when I turned 35 in 2021 and we went to DR, we had to take COVID tests to get back into the country. We had to have a negative COVID test.
This is crazy. The fact that all this money was spent and given to artists.
Now, mind you, I wonder if this is the same grant that I applied for, because I do have my own business. Right. I am the sole proprietor,
And
I got denied, and then they gave me, because of the denial, because they had like SBA like grants or whatever, where you could get like $10,000 or more maybe, and even if you got denied, they would give you like $1,000, and I used it for my business.
Dang, that's what's up. Okay, but I'm saying, how is Lil Wayne and them getting this? But I'm saying we might need to look at this other company, NKFSB.
Yeah, they might have been the one, because they was like, shit, we could get a quick payday.
And we got all the artists under our accounting firm already. Let's get it. All right, Dom, as we wrap up for this episode, this is the season of giving, right? So what is one of the best gifts you ever given someone?
That I've ever given someone?
Yes.
Ooh. That's kind of tough. Cause like and it sucks because like it's not that I'm a terrible gift giver. I'm not, but it's just like a lot of the stuff that I like for people be so expensive. But okay. I'm trying to
let's keep it there. Let's keep it there.
To think of the
what about giving somebody a baby?
Huh?
What about giving somebody a baby?
I mean, that's a good gift, but I also don't have children. So
right. Well, there were two prisoners. One prisoner gave another prisoner a baby, never met her. Hold on, here we go, y'all.
Link is locked up awaiting trial, charged with second-degree murder. Police say this is Link holding a gun after shooting her boyfriend in the leg, killing him. She has been an inmate at TGK for more than 2 years, but in June, Link gave birth to this baby girl.
She's a miracle baby. She's a blessing.
A miracle, because Link says she's never met the father of her baby face to face.
I've never met him. It's crazy.
He was also a TGK inmate and, like Link, is charged with murder. The DNA results show inmate number 200147865, J-Kwon and Shaboozey, is the baby's father.
This call is from the Miami-Dade Metro West Detention Center.
So you guys have never physically touched each other?
Never. Like the Virgin Mary.
The big question here is, how did this happen?
Through the vent.
Link says she and Shaboozey started talking through AC vents in their cells.
You would knock on it and you can hear the people from the different floors. You would stand on the toilet actually to be able to talk to them.
They say they also passed notes and pictures.
Being in isolation for so long, you begin to spend hours and hours talking to this person, to the point where it's almost as if you're in the same room with them.
Link and Shaboozey formed a romantic relationship, and the 23-year-old shared his dream.
I always really wanted to have a baby, and I'm not going to get to do that for a really long time. So if I had to choose somebody, it would be you. And she was like, yeah, we could do that.
Shaboozey came up with a plan.
I'm not going to lie, it's going to go down in history.
I don't know what my fate is. You kind of don't know what yours. If we're going to go out, might as well just go out with a bang, If it works, it works. But it definitely did.
I told her a way that one of my friends had showed me through the vent, because the vent is like an L shape, really. It drops right into my vent. From her room, she could throw a pen into the vent, and it'll land right into my vent.
We have figured out a way to drop the line. It was a line that we had established out of like bedding material.
I put the semen in a saran wrap every day, like 5 times a day for like a month straight.
He would kind of like roll it up almost like a cigarette, and he would attach it to the line that we had in the vent, and I would pull it through. From there, I had placed it inside of it was the yeast infection, the yeast infection applicators. I had placed it inside of there, and then from there, I administered it.
She says it only took a few tries before she became pregnant.
I was very excited. I was ecstatic about it.
All right, Dom. The gift, the biggest gift of this is the year of giving. I mean, the season of giving, and he gave her a baby.
Here's the craziest part. It's like, nigga, You in jail for murder.
Both of them are.
Yeah. Yes. But ultimately, I'm like, you don't know. Y'all just said you don't know what your fate is, and y'all don't be realizing. This is what I be talking about. People not realizing how stuff impacts other people. Y'all not thinking about that kid when she got to grow up. Y'all not thinking about this kid now. You had this baby. That baby is what, with your mama, or probably
we don't even know what we don't know.
I'm like, where is the baby? Is it in custody of the state? Like, what happened? Because you not there. Like, you can't have no baby in there. They normally pretty much give it to the next of kin sometimes, but sometimes the next of kin are like, fuck that. And so now you got this kid that's state property, and that sucks. That's a wild. This sounds like a Hollywood movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's almost like I don't even believe them. Like I almost believe they did mess around and they had like a little hookup and met together, but they don't want people to know how they really conceived this child.
Because if it's an L shape, and he said she could drop anything into the vent, his vent, then how did you get that? You got to go up the L.
Well, they said they did it with the I guess they put them probably stuck it. They said they stuck it on bedding.
So I guess she put her down and then we'll pull it out. Yeah. Yep. I guess okay. Whatever.
I thought semen, when it contacts air, I always thought semen supposedly dies unless it's protected correctly.
So he had it sealed in the
and it's saran wrap.
It's saran wrap.
This is crazy.
It doesn't die right away. That's just like certain viruses, when it touches the surface, it can live on the surface for several days.
Like this, yo, if anything, they need to, I've always said, like, we talk about and we joke, we do need to make this prison state of Montana. Because some of these cats are geniuses. We need to farm some, like the idea that y'all think it's people that be trying to have kids all the time and they figure it out in jail. We need to give them a doggone chemistry lab and like make them work for good. Like the Suicide Squad, but for the hood. Like,
I can't. This is just wild.
I can't even.
That's just wild.
It's the season of giving, and he gave him a baby. But the sad part is, like, we don't know this baby. I don't even know where this baby gonna go. Like,
yep.
Because I've been trying to research or find out where the baby's been going. So the baby's born in June of this year. So that baby's been out. But then I think a lot of prisons give the woman time to nurse the child, right?
They do.
A certain amount of time, right?
Yeah.
Which is some ill stuff. I get why they let them, but it's almost unfair to the woman in prison and the child. I think it'd be okay more if you knew that a person was getting out soon or within a reasonable amount of time, a year. This woman of a second-degree murder, she may do 20 years.
She said, you'll be okay.
She must got a mama or something on the outside. Maybe they planned all this and they both got their families together. They finna raise this child, and that's a way for them to forget about the two kids they got that did kill people. I mean, I don't know.
This is wild.
But happy holidays, everybody. Don, where can people hit you up at?
You can find me on my stuff. St. Angeles right here at the bottom. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. That's where I am. Blue Sky.
Give a little love on Christmas like they did.
No thanks.
Give a little love on Christmas Day. That's what they did it in, but that baby was born in June. Hold on. What's 9 months from June? Okay, I was gonna say, was it Christmas? It wasn't though. It wasn't. It wasn't. But it would have been hilarious if it was Christmas.
Yeah, it would have been that's like September October.
Yeah. But he said he did it for days, man.
He said for like a month.
Yeah, 5 times a day. Like, yo. But hey, y'all.
Some of that probably, I would say probably that week she was on her cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, it's a low chance that you can get pregnant on your cycle. It's very low. It can happen, but yeah.
And do you get in trouble? I know we're gonna wrap up, y'all. I just got another question. Do you get in trouble?
My battery low.
Oh, you get in trouble as an inmate for this? Like,
I don't know. Like, it's so we got to come back to this because I
gotta do some more research on this. But
maybe by that time we'll find where the baby is.
Yes, we'll find out where this baby's at. Thank y'all for listening. As always, happy holidays. If we don't see y'all for the new year, we'll see what we got going on. But happy New Year, everybody. Christmas, all that good stuff. Kwanzaa, Hanukkah,
whatever you celebrate.
Whatever you celebrating. We'll tell y'all. Thank y'all for listening as always. Peace.